reminded you of your team when it's playing its best hockey?
Yeah, it was a step in the right direction for sure. Not an easy building to win in. Team that obviously we've got lots of history with, and this is a great win. Hopefully it's something we can build on.
We were talking about some of the things that we've been looking for, that everyone's been looking for. You get some depth scoring. You know, Arvidsson has a really good game. It's 4-2, your power play comes out, and you score, and it's, you know, that power play seized a lot of games in the past. It hasn't this year. Is that something that makes you feel like you got the same team again?
I mean, yeah. I thought the power play doesn't get credit for a power play goal in the first one, but it's pretty much a power play goal. Another one in the third there to kind of seal it. That's what we want to do. We want to contribute to games, contribute to wins. We've done that for years and years, and I would expect that it'll get going.
Connor, you touched on the fact that Vancouver, you've had this rivalry with. It's tough building to come do it. Does having this type of performance against this team maybe mean a little bit more?
Certainly does. Every time you play a team where there's a little bit of a rivalry and you find a way to get a win, especially in their building, it's always big for momentum. And the guys should feel good about themselves and head into a big week next week.
3 goals against for Skinner. You might look at that stat line and say, yeah. But talk to me about kind of how he kind of held you guys in at a couple of games.
I think half the battle is the timing of the save, and he made some really, really timely saves, especially there in the second period. If we come in 3-3, it's probably a different game. So really, really timely saves there in the last little bit of the second, and I thought the guys came out and played a real solid third.
After the push, you guys didn't give up much. Like, for all the focus on 7 goals, is it the defensive effort as well that?
Yeah, I feel like we've been doing a good job of keeping the puck out of our net. It's the run support that hasn't been there. It's been 2, 3, 3 with an empty netter, kind of nights. It's tough when you only score 1 or 2 a night, so nice to give him a little bit of run support. Obviously, I wish we could have avoided that last one for him, but I thought he was great.
When they got that momentum with the 2 goals in the second, how important was that timeout to just kind of gather yourselves and reset and get back to your game?
Fortunately, we've been in that situation in this building before. Give up 2 quick ones and a timeout, and get back at it. And I thought it was a well-used timeout. A lot of momentum, a lot of energy in the building, and just gave us a chance to get our breath and get back at it.
To take on a Canucks squad that was rolling.
Well, coming out into that game, it was a really tight checking game. That first period, there's no space out there, and we checked and did our thing, and bent a little in the second. But really proud of the way this group handled that third period, and we went out there confidently and got the job done.
How about for you personally? What went right for you to chip in with 2 big ones?
Well, I think I've been getting lots of scoring chances, in and around the net, night in, night out. So it's nice to see a few fall.
Connor, other than maybe that little lull in the second period, do you feel like that was maybe the most complete game you guys have played all year?
Yeah, I mean, without thinking about other ones, I mean, it was a solid effort by our group. But like I said, the main thing is that third period, the way we showed composure and poise in the third and made plays with the lead and piled on.
I feel like this could be a statement game for you guys, or at least one that could kind of get the ball rolling in the right.
I think there's a lot of momentum to be built off that game, especially that third period.
Are there things that you watch that you've been waiting to see? Depth scoring from you guys. A 4-2 power play, boom, it's 5-2. That's the Oilers team we've watched for a long time that we haven't necessarily seen all the time this year.
Yeah, well, it's early, right? It's this group, I think, is just starting to gel, and a lot of new faces, and it's just about kind of finding that identity. And I think the way we were making plays and holding on to the lead, I think that's a huge step in the right direction.
Just doing it against this Vancouver team, one that you struggled against in the regular season, you had a really good playoff series against, kind of mean a little bit more.
Yeah, it's good because it's Vancouver, but also just they're a great team, and they check hard, they check really well. A lot of world-class players over there, so obviously you want to bring those types of hockey games against the best.
And what goes through your head when you hear the "Let's Go Oilers" chant from the crowd?
Well, it's good. I mean, the Oilers faithful they travel well, and the best fans in the league. So it's nice to see them in enemy territory here because they can be pretty hostile in here sometimes.
Scores, a couple of guys with 3-point nights. Can you just maybe take us through the collective effort it took to beat that Vancouver squad?
Yeah, it wasn't easy. Obviously, they had a big push immediately after we made it 3-0. And they scored immediately after that. The first shift after, looked like we were on our heels a little bit. They were pushing. Fortunately, we were able to survive that second period, and then we got to reset. And then the third period, we got back to the way we would like to play.
Connor, McDavid, I was talking about Stuart Skinner's timeliness of his saves, especially in that second. Can you maybe take us through his night? Obviously, when you look at the stats, 17 of 20 may not be the sexiest, but he was pretty clutch when he got
He was good. He was good, especially some key saves in the second period when they had their push. Third period, the one that looked like was going to be a goal and came across, slid across, and got his pat on that. Sometimes you look at the stats and sometimes they can be misleading. Sometimes a goal scorer can get a few goals and have a terrible game. Goalie sometimes might get a shutout and might be an easy night, but tonight you look at the stats and 3 goals. Wasn't that good, but he made a lot of key saves.
Maybe take us through that timeout, the importance of that timeout, making sure your group was recalibrated when it needed to be.
Yeah, it's tough to decide when to use it, but a next whistle, there's going to be a 2-minute timeout, so you're not sure if you want to salvage that timeout because you might need it later. But I think the way things have been going, we just need to reset, refocus, just have a little message for the players and get back to work.
You had a timeout in this building last year after they scored 2 quick goals.
There was a lot more stress on that one. There was a lot more going on that timeout than there was this one.
Kris, other than that little lull, do you feel like this was maybe your most complete game of the year from start to finish?
I don't know. When you get timely goals, we can be happy that, we got 7 goals, and you think of, everything went really well. We won by 4. We must have dominated. I don't see it that way. It's just tonight we were able to execute around the net, score some goals. Maybe some they wanted back, but it feels good. But I'm not sure it was our best.
The fact that it was in this building, does that kind of do a little bit more for this group and kind of give you guys maybe a shot in the arm?
Well, it should, because this was a good team. It was a big test for us, and overall, I thought we played a pretty good game.
Your power play, it's 4-2. Your power play goes out. We're awfully used to watching that power play seal up a game, and tonight they did. That's got to be positive.
Glenn and I were talking on the bench about this was the time we needed a goal. If we can score here, we feel the game is sealed, and they came out and executed right away with that goal, and almost their second power play goal tonight. The first one at the end, their guy coming out of the box isn't really involved in the play, but our power play was looking good tonight. Had some empty net looks that their goalie came with some big saves, but when we needed it most in the third period, they came out.
I'm not sure if either of Connor Brown's goals are going to end up on highlight reels, but he was around it, and that line was too with the end mark.
They have.
Yeah.
Brownie's been playing really well, and he's been simplifying his game, and he's been shooting, and a lot more shots from the perimeter. And not necessarily those shots like tonight go in very often, but they do. It forces the goalie to make a save, but it also creates a little chaos, a little a rebound chance, something like that. And he's been doing the last week or so, which he's been playing pretty good hockey.
Do you think it gives your group a boost to hear those loud "Let's Go Oilers" chants through the game?
Well, anytime we're on the road and you hear cheers for you, it's encouraging. Not only do we have outstanding support at home, but when we go on the road, it's nice to know that we got fans around the league.